Hey guys, it's your girl Jade back at it again with another video. I know you guys haven't seen me in about 2 months. Um, yeah, I just have been super busy and just like trying to stay to myself. I haven't really been in a good place, so I haven't really given a crap about recording, but I know I started this channel so I can have people hear me out and just, be involved with what's going on in today's society, going on with me and my little, family. Um, but yeah, it's just a lot really taking place in since like the end of 2018 till now. So I'm kind of getting a hang of everything, but it's still a lot of stuff that's just coming at me full force. So I decided for me, I like talking about, my problems and like what's going on in my life. So I decided that I should get back to recording. So yeah, here I am. And yeah, I have a lot of things to talk about, but I'm going to start off today with talking about something that's super recent, one of the scariest moments of my life. And this had to do with Jayden. So yeah, stay tuned. So, guys, the other day, Jayden came home from school, and I basically like he does the normal routine. Like he'll get undressed, he'll start playing with my nephew, and he was doing that. I went to the bathroom, and I noticed that he was a little quiet. My sister and her fiance were home, and he was just very quiet, and it was kind of like weird. So when I got out the bathroom, I looked, and he was calm and like laying down in my sister's fiance's arms. So I went over and he was very warm. He had a fever and he didn't want to eat anything. He just wanted to basically sleep. So I got him ready for bed. I ran to Walgreens to get him some Motrin and to like let the fever go down. That helped. He ended up dozing off maybe like an hour and a half later. So around like 1:57, I'm gonna give you exact time, and between like 2:15, um, I went to in my room to go check on my son, and I looked at him, and he looked like he was just having a bad dream. Like he was shaking, he was like murmuring words and whatever, and it just to me it was just like okay, normal. He's having a bad dream. It is what it is. So I laid down in my bed and I, scrolling on Instagram, social media, and I heard a weird noise coming from him and it was kind of concerning. So I immediately got up and I looked in his crib and Jayden was literally um, shaking and his eyes were like rolling to the back of his head and literally instantly I picked him up. I picked him up and I started calling out his name and he wasn't responding to me. So I quickly like just sat down on my bed. I started like rubbing his face, like slapping on his cheeks like Jayden, wake up, and he wasn't getting up. Um, I did that for about like a good 2 minutes. After that, I started panicking even more. Got up, I flew into the living room with the baby in my hand, and I alarmed my sister and her fiance, and let them know like something was wrong with the baby. He, uh, at the time, was having a seizure. His body was stiff. He was shaking, eyes rolling to the back of his head. His lips over time started to become blue. His skin looked like a palish grayish color, and yeah, it lasted for about a good 5-10 minutes. Um, I immediately called 911 because I didn't know what was going on. And to be quite frank, I thought I was losing my child. Um, so the ambulance came and they checked him out. Basically, they checked his his blood temperature, sorry, his high, just to see if he had like, high blood pressure or anything going on. But I did inform them that he had a fever and I did give him Motrin. So they literally were calm. Like the ambulance, the EMT and the paramedics were like calm. And it was kind of like scaring me because they were so calm. My sister and I and her fiance are frantic. We're like crying and like all over the place trying to figure out what we should do next. Jayden was in having a whole seizure, and they were telling me that it was perfectly normal, that it's caused by the fever. That's the only reason why he was having a seizure. It's called febrile seizures, and it's basically when the baby is normal in babies and adolescents, but it's normally when their fever is trying to regulate itself, and it sends the kid or the baby, whatever, into shock. So that's basically what happened with him. So I had to go to the hospital so that way he can get evaluated and just to make sure that's exactly what it really was. And it turned out that's what it was. But literally that was like the most scariest thing that's literally happened to me. So yeah, I was in the hospital with him. Turned out that he had like a minor ear infection as well. Um, and he was just very cranky and wanted to sleep, and it was just super scary. Like this whole thing was just something that I never expected that could ever happen. His skin was like purplish blue. It was just, and my child, he's very, very pale. So I noticed that like right away. So yeah, they were concerned just because, of the duration of time that the seizure lasted. They just wanted to make sure that it was okay, that he was okay for him to start back normal, regular activities and stuff like that. But yeah, like Jayden literally almost sent my ass into like another world. Like I wanted to, if he was going, like I was gonna go with him. Like that's literally what it was for me. And I couldn't get that thought out of my head because he just looked so out of it, like out of whack. And I wasn't thinking it was a seizure. I thought that he was just taking his time. Like it was just taking his time to go. But I'm super thankful that he's okay. Um, I can't even really tell you the true emotion that I felt behind it because you would have to literally live that moment in order for you to know everything and to feel what I felt. It was really scary. That's all I could say. He is fine right now. He's actually back to his normal self, crying, screaming, kicking, walking, doing everything that babies do at 1 year old. He's so strong. I didn't even I can't. I can't. And before this too, Jayden had he had a sinus infection and the flu. So my child has been literally sick for the past month and 2 weeks, and I don't know what to really do about this, but it's pretty scary. Like I feel like his immune system is weak as hell, and I want to do something to. Obviously, he needs to get his vaccines and stuff to, get his immune system built up. But I'm happy that he's actually fighting off these things on his own because a lot, a lot of babies growing up, their immune system be so weak that it can't take anything. So I'm just happy that he's handling all of this. And I didn't give him the flu shot too, to speak about the flu. I didn't give him the flu shot because I just hear so much, reviews and different feelings on it. I know I should just read on things and see if I would want to do it, not listen to other people. But at the same time, it's my mom never gave it to any of her kids. My sister never gave it to any of her kids. So I just decided, you know what? I'm just not going to do it. Literally, a month later, my son gets the flu. It's just I should have just did it, But I'm not going to do it because I'm not trying to do all of that and let him get the flu again. It's whatever. His body fought it off, which is really, really good, and I'm proud of that. But, yeah, that's pretty much it that's been going on. That's, scary with Jayden. Yeah, I'm just super thankful, like I said, that he's doing better. But I wanted to do this video for my single moms, or for my moms or parents out there in general that do watch my channel. That way you guys know these things, because I didn't know it, and it happened to Jayden. And the paramedic had told me, like, I was like, oh, I should be reading up on these things. That way I know that things that could happen to kids in a young age. And he literally told me that this is not something that you sit here and think about. It just happens. And then after it happens, you get information on it and you start reading up on it. But I'm here to educate you guys today to please pay attention to your kids, your cousins, whoever watches my channel. Like, pay attention to a child when they're having a fever. Make sure that they're hydrated and everything, because you don't want something like this to happen. And pay attention to their signs. And this happened when Jayden was sleeping. He had a seizure in his sleep. So that is something that you got to be mindful. And I know a lot of parents nowadays, they tend to sleep through a lot of things. When I had Jayden, I was alert. Like, every sound that was crickling through my home, I was alert. I made sure my ears was like this. Word to my mom. Like, it was still to this day. It could be the littlest thing and I'm still alert. Like, I have to know that if my son is here with me and I hear something, I got to make sure he's okay. Like, I got to make sure that's what it is. And with that being said, I went in my room that night just to make sure he was okay with the fever. And it turned out to be something else. So with that being said, guys, like I said before, please pay attention to the littlest signs that you see going on with a child. Because even though it looks little to you, it could be something really major. And that's all I got to say. So thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. And yeah, that's it. Love you guys. Bye.